Winning the jackpots might be just the desire that everyone has. Most of us have a bucket list of what we would do and what we would spend our winnings on. Does everyone know what he or she would do if they ever won the lottery ticket exactly? You'd be amazed at the great number of people who get it all wrong, despite having it all planned out in their heads. The following 10 people really went all wrong with it, and hence they are featured in our list for the top 10 stupid lottery winners. So without further ado, let's get into it. Number 10. Christina Goodenow. Christina Goodenow purchased a lottery ticket on October 9, 2005. Eventually, luck went well for her and she won the lottery of $1 million. $1 million is a lot of money to change up life. Goodenow chose the annual payment method and even received her first sum of payment of $33,500. But see, Christina Goodenow used her boyfriend's late mother's credit card to buy the lottery ticket, which we all know is a crime. Soon after, detectives smelled that there was something fishy. Eventually, Christina Goodenow didn't get another payment because investigators caught up with her crime. After a thorough investigation, Christina was put into Jackson County Jail on charges of theft, forgery, identity theft, credit card fraud, computer crime, and parole violation. Number 9. Jose Antonio Cuatac. Jose Antonio was not a legal migrant living in Georgia when he won a $750,000 lottery ticket. Because he was not a legal resident of Georgia, he asked his boss, Eric Cervantes, to cash the ticket for him. However, the business owner kept the money for himself, claiming that he gave Jose Antonio money to buy the lottery ticket for him. But the story doesn't end there. After suing Eric Cervantes for $750,000 back, he faced deportation after his undocumented status was unveiled. He definitely made a huge mistake. Perhaps it's better to only play the lottery in a country where one resides legally. Number 8. Sharon Tirabassi. Sharon Tirabassi is a Canadian woman who rose to stardom when she won an incredible jackpot of a whopping $10.5 million. She could have kept hold of all of it, as prize winners do not need to declare lottery winnings as their income and funds are not subject to a lottery tax in Canada. Tirabassi was very bountiful with her bang of luck and shared the money with her friends and family. Her first action with the jackpot was to split it amongst family, $1 million to her parents and the other $1.75 million to her siblings. As is often the case with jackpot winners, Tirabassi was suddenly approached by many friends, new and old, when news of her winning the lottery spread far and wide. She helped friends by paying their rents, loaned cash to a friend whose husband was in jail, and even provided some friends funds to start a business. Unfortunately, these friends were never heard from again and many loans were never repaid. Too soon, all her cash was depleted and she is now working part-time to help her family and is living in a rented home with her 6 children. Number 7. Alec Ashoka. Alec Ashoka won approximately $500,000 and he used most of that amount to fund social work, which was to help reintegrate sexually molested victims back into society. Everything was good for a few years. The NGO was very active and people were aided. Not long after that, the word was out that Alec himself was a sexual offender and was caught on 2 separate occasions. Shortly after the word was out in public, few men publicly attacked Alec, causing severe wounds by hitting him on his head and shoulders with an iron rod. He had already completed time in jail for his past crimes, but nobody knows why he wanted to get the public's attention by funding an NGO that serves the purpose of healing the victims of his crimes. Number 6. Willie Hurt. In 1989, Willie Hurt won a staggering amount of $3.1 million in the Michigan lottery. But rather than use this amount to advance his life, he did the opposite. Within 2 years, he was in the middle of his divorce, which took a chunk of his money, lost custody of his children, and had already started the use of cocaine. Later on, he was also charged with the murder of his girlfriend. According to the Associated Press, authorities have accused Hurt of fatally shooting a 30-year-old woman in the head after an argument about not having crack cocaine to consume. Number 5. E.B. Roncaioli. There are many stories about lottery winners whose lives take a turn for the worse, especially after winning big. E.B. Roncaioli was born in Hungary and moved to Canada where she married Dr. Joseph Roncaioli for 30 years. After winning $5 million, she spent her money lavishly, buying her son a house, going to gambling casinos, and giving another son $2 million from a previous marriage. After carelessly spending her winnings, Eby was found dead on the couch in her husband's mansion in July 2003. It was initially thought that she had died because of natural reasons, but an autopsy found a toxic level of painkillers and alcohol in her body. Finally, upon being questioned, her husband, Joseph, admitted that he injected his wife with painkillers. What bad luck she had! Number 4. Denise Rossi. After winning $1.3 million in the California lottery, Rossi filed a divorce from her husband, Thomas Rossi, without telling him a reason. 11 days later, that left him understandably perplexed for lack of disclosure. It was an effort to keep all the cash to herself, but after he found out Rossi's winnings, Thomas sued Rossi because she violated the state assist disclosure law. Later on, Thomas was awarded every single cent of the $1.3 million jackpot, which left Denise destitute and single. When we see selfish behavior like this, it can be hard not to laugh. Number 3. Americo Lopez. A group of co-workers pooled their money and one of them, Americo Lopez, bought the tickets. After they won a staggering amount of $38.5 million in the lottery in 2009, he cashed the ticket, kept it for himself, and quit his job. Later, the co-workers investigated and found out the truth and took Americo Lopez to court and ordered him to split the money between himself and his 5 co-workers. The court eventually awarded Lopez's 5 co-workers $4 million each. Number 2. Michael Carroll. Michael Carroll is a well-documented lottery prize winner who won £9.7 million in 2002 while he was only 19. Carroll didn't have any nice ideas when it comes to spending the money and investing his money. He blew most of it consuming cocaine. To portray his rich man status, Carroll snorted the cocaine using a solid gold pen. He had enjoyed celebrity status for a time in British tabloid media, and he was referred to as Lotto Lout. It was apparent that the money would be ending shortly or briefly. Apart from acquiring a mansion, Carroll was known for a couple of other extravagant purchases, and eventually, by 2012, Michael had led himself to lose all of the millions. Number 1. Evelyn Marie Adams. Evelyn Marie Adams is an American prize winner. She won the New Jersey lottery ticket twice, in 1985 and in 1986, for over 5.4 million compounds. Both lotteries were paid in the form of mandatory entitlements. However, she was an addictive gambler and lost large sums of her winnings at Atlantic City casinos and throughout a string of unsuccessful business deals. After achieving her first prize, Adam paid back bills and set up a fund to pay for her daughter's college, bought a new car, and gave presents to those close to her, having to raise her weekly ticket purchases from $25 per week to $100 weekly. She later postponed plans to use her winnings to study music and eventually open a music store instead of buying and later selling the convenience store where she had worked. After wasting significant portions of her winnings in unsuccessful ventures and gambling, she eventually got bankrupted and started living in a trailer park. With that being said, here we come to the end of our video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss any video. Till then, take care.